I don't think you can replace Drogba. You can buy top players, you can invest like Chelsea did, but Drogba, there is only one.
And if you're a centre-back and you look at the Chelsea team sheet and Drogba is right there, you're like, oh dear.
At his peak, Didier Drogba was a force of nature. He redefined what was expected of a centre-forward, bringing so much more to his game than goals. He was a high-energy, high-octane phenomenon who would go on to become a club legend at Chelsea and will go down as one of Africa's best-ever players. However, for all his ferocity on the field, he was a man of peace off it, and it took years for him to learn to dominate defenders. In fact, as a young part-time player at Ligue 2 club Le Mans, the late-blooming Drogba initially struggled to cope with the physical demands of playing and training. This was in part due to him having never been a part of a football academy or a real structured coaching setup throughout his childhood. His complicated family circumstances dictated otherwise. Born in the Ivorian capital of Abidjan, Drogba was always on the move during his formative years, splitting time living with his uncle in France as well as stints back in Abidjan. By the time he was 15, his parents had made a permanent move to France too, settling in the Parisian suburb of Antony. It was here that Drogba began taking football more seriously, impressing in the semi-professional low reaches of French football. For the teenage Drogba though, football still wasn't the sole driving force. He went to Le Mans to study accountancy at university, and consequently moved to play for the local club. His physical struggles left him still looking in on the world of professional football from the outside. It wasn't until he was 21 years old when he finally signed his first professional contract, and made his first team debut for Le Mans. He gained the hunger and desire in being made to force his way into the professional game through an unconventional route. It also meant he retained a certain rawness and grit that would serve him well as his career progressed. He may have been a late bloomer in footballing terms, but once he got going, he never looked back. In early 2002, he moved to Guingamp, initially helping the club to avoid relegation from the top flight. The following year, he fired them to an unprecedented 7th place finish, scoring 17 times and linking up well with another star in the making in Florent Malouda. Guingamp couldn't retain the up-and-coming Ivorian, and that summer he was on the move again, to Marseille. His stay in France's south coast would be an even shorter one. It was his part in Marseille's run to the UEFA Cup final, and the Champions League campaign that preceded it, that brought Drogba to wider attention. By the end of his first season with Marseille, Europe's biggest clubs began circling. Chelsea, in the dawning days of the Abramovich and Mourinho revolution, saw Drogba as the perfect man to lead the Chelsea attack, and believed he could get the best out of the attacking instincts of Frank Lampard.
I remember clearly Abramovich was asking me, who do you want for the striker? All the big names in Europe at that time. I told Drogba. And who is he? Where is he playing? Mr. Abramovich, pay and don't speak.